So, welcome, ladies. I'm so glad you showed up for yourself today. If you've ever felt like you're doing everything right, but still not getting the results, this session is for you. So, we're going to unpack why so many diets fails us, especially for women in our 30s, busy moms, and those navigating perimenopause or menopause. More importantly, I show you how to build a foundation for lasting change. No more quick fixes. This is about becoming the strongest and most energized version of yourself. So, I think that what is important to keep in mind is that you have built some good habits with the 4 weeks MPOWER reset, with your hormonal balance reset. And now I'm going to give you some keys to keep these changes for the long run. So, the purpose of today's session is, first of all, we are going to cover why typical diets don't work long term, then how the Empower approach leads to real transformation through mindset, nutrition, and accountability. And finally, I will share actionable tools and introduce our next step, a 4 week macro based coaching program. So I think that it's important that you understand that these 4 weeks were about a reset of your hormones and teaching you the basics, okay? How to build a balanced plate, how to eat regarding your cycle, how to eat regarding the moon cycle, how to put the right micro and macronutrients in your plate. So I think it's very important to understand why most of people trying programs cannot keep it for the long run, and it's because there is a diet culture trap. Okay? So the diet culture trap is, for instance, we've all been exposed to it, like the diet culture that says that carbs are bad, thinner is better, and willpower is the solution to everything. But what really happens? We start, we restrict, we burn out, especially for women in their 30s with hormonal changes and full lives. Restriction is a recipe for failure. You don't need another set of rules, you need a smarter strategy. So, common diets people try, I always heard clients saying that they try keto, paleo, fasting, macro tracking. They all have their moments, okay? So we all at least tried once of these diets. Intermittent fasting as well was very common in the past, like is still something that is done by a lot of people. But I think that they used to be for one size fit all without any context or personalization, which is why they become just another band-aid. Okay, so the issue isn't the method, it's that we try to force one size fits all solutions on body that are incredibly unique. So you need to understand that we all come with our challenges, our baggages, our culture, our blockages, our internal stories, okay? And I think that following a diet plan, going to see a dietitian or a nutritionist is not a bad thing. It is a starting point. But what fails with this kind of approaches compared to, let's say, nutrition coaching or the Empower program is that they only give you a fixed approach. They don't change depending on who you are, what do you like, how you feeling, where are you in your menstrual cycle, where are you in your womanhood journey, They only focus on short term, so they will tell you have to lose weight, and that's the way you're gonna do it, by making you go through a calorie deficit. But they don't really teach you how to change your mindset, change your eating habits, and that's why they fail. They don't address the person's emotional relationship with food, their habits, their mindset, and they don't offer an accountability, every week, or just letting people they have access to them, week by week, by just adapting the program to their unique needs and challenges. So, why fat diet fails? Above everything I said before, we have to be clear that this type of diet don't fail because you lack discipline. A lot of people tell me, yes, it's because of me, so they go into a guilt, shame, vicious circle, okay? It's me, I don't have willpower, all my clients tell me this. So when I agree that there is a part of you doing the work, these diets that you might have tried in the past, they fail because they ignore your unique bio individuality. Okay, so who are you? What habits do you have in place? What type of mindset? What is the story you're telling yourself? How are you feeling at the moment? What are you going through at work? How is your hormone status? These diets, they just promote restrictions, they remove a food group, or which increases cortisol, and that makes fat loss harder, not easier. And mentally, the guilt cycle kicks in. We need a new approach. So the problem is that all these diet, if you do it for the long term, it's not going to work, because at some point you will have a life, you will go out, you will go eat with friends, you will go to a restaurant. So empower hormonal balance is amazing because it's a blueprint for life. But let's say tomorrow you have a weekend and you have to go on holiday, it's okay, you just can stop the program and start again when you finish your holiday. It just gives you back the good habits and gives you the right micronutrients and macronutrients. But you will see that you will become addicted to the way of eating, because it's so much better to feel energized, to be able to eat the rainbows, to have like the vegetables, the different proteins, that you will feel even not well, not eating balance, you know. But it's also healthy to have moments where you don't track, where you don't eat the same thing. You try to have a bit of variety, you let place for spontaneity. It's important to live life, you know. You don't live to eat, you eat to live, you know what I mean? So you have to keep this in mind. So we have to understand that this program that you just did um, help you develop a new approach and a new relationship with food. Okay, it's a long-term habit change. So these 30 days were really about changing the way you see food, changing your relationship with food, and ditch the temporary fixes. You know, we took a really comprehensive approach to both nutrition and the mindset. And with the accountability that you had, and me checking over you, and all the weekly check-ins, that was a way to reprogram your mind to go back to the shortcuts, because you have to take responsibility for your daily actions, and you have the tools to ask any questions. So I think that's something that these diets don't take into consideration, is the human support that can help you overcome any obstacles and emotional barriers. It's just so nice to have someone, another human, to speak to, you know. So I think that is what empower, why it's different. And you have a group of women that empower each other and support each other, and it's beautiful because everybody can share the tips and tricks that works for them. So we have to analyze and understand um, the key challenges in the health and fitness programs now. So for women especially, there's a lot of diets that can lead to hormonal imbalances, poor digestion, and fatigue. They also slow down their metabolisms, especially after 35. So there is an increase in body image stress, and busy moms that can't have any time to prepare their meals or take care of themselves. So we need to shift a little bit the narrative. So the problem is that in these programs, a lot of what they offer skipped the most important part, the emotions, the emotional eating, the poor self-image, the lack of confidence, and they are the biggest reasons why women quit and cannot continue a program. Whereas this program helped you name and shift those patterns. They don't hold you back anymore. So I think it's important that you understand that after these 4 weeks, you received some guidance, and you're ready to spread your wings and repeat the 4 weeks again on your own. Okay, so it was base a program not only on weight loss. It was not the main goal. It was about eating to have a hormonal balance. It was eating to learn how to nourish your body, and it was to reduce fatigue and not to make you more stressed or give you too much information. You know, we try to give you a blueprint, you follow the blueprint, and then you can use the blueprint and change maybe the different food, the type of food. It can be different vegetables, can be different meat. I mean, you have the blueprint and you know exactly what to eat to have the right amount of protein. Okay, so I think it's very important that you understand that what you went through these 4 weeks were a total change, a transformation, and that guide that you receive will be your Bible for the like the next 10, 20, 30 years, because they just regroup the basic principle, make it digestible for you without overwhelming with too much information. Okay, now I'm not telling you after these 4 weeks you're gonna change and transform 100%. Of course, it's consistency that is key, and you have to repeat the 4 weeks month after month. And I think that it's really important not to focus on your nutrition, but you have to focus on the different areas of your life, your health, your stress. And I think that it's important that you also make sure that you have time to reconnect, recharge, and self-care is one of the most important. So I think that this is very important as well. You cannot hate your body into change. It never works. And this program is about healing the relationship with food and yourself. You learn to eat without guilt, move with joy, and fuel your body from a place of care, not punishment. You have to change the narrative. Food is fuel, not punishment. So you have to silence this inner critic. I'm not enough, I'm fat, I have cellulite. You have to replace all this negative self-talk with positive one. I think a good exercise that you can start as from now is to have affirmation and visualize already what your body is doing, and a lot of gratitude, and also keep visualizing the healthiest version of yourself. And I think that if you focus not on what is not here, but on what you want to create in your life, it will appear magically, because it's just about the frequency that you're tuning in. If you send the right information, it's like an antenna, and the world is like the universe is just gonna serve you the frequency. What you embody will come to you. You will attract it. So I believe that it's very important to change the narrative, to see yourself strong, capable, in perfect health, hormonal balance, and I think that it's good to reinforce that. But what's difficult is when you're not in a good health, and having these positive thoughts can be quite challenging. So you need to be mindful um, most of the time of how you feel, how you think, and learn to enjoy food without shame. Try to reconnect to the energy of the food. It allows you to have energy to live your life and to achieve everything that you set your mind to achieve. So I think it's important to understand that for long-lasting transformation, you need to change the way you talk to yourself. So common negative self-talk and limiting beliefs. I just put on weight by looking at the cake. I always put on weight when I eat something that makes me happy. I have a messed up metabolism. I don't have time to eat healthy. Eating healthy is too expensive. I'm eating so little but still gaining weight. I can't see myself in a mirror. All that cellulite, oh my god. This belly is awful. I hate my body. I feel so fluffy. I'm always bloated. I hate my arms. You understand that all these words are very heavy on your mind, heavy on your body, and it just keeps you stuck in this self-limiting narrative. And I think that today is the time to stay stop. These are the reasons why you cannot change, or you go back to self-sabotage. So I think that it's important that you focus on creating positive reinforcement talks to yourself. Okay, you need to analyze as soon as these thoughts arrive in your brain. You just like pause, observe, and transform them into positive self-talk. Okay, So I think that it's very important that you understand the power of the words as they shape your mind. Okay, so just a little anecdote. So you know that the word abracadabra means so you speak and so it is. So the words you speak have the power to create your reality. So if you change your words, you're gonna change your reality. First of all, ladies, to continue the program, to be successful in no matter what you try to achieve in life, you have to be positive, you have to believe in it, you have to be using empowering words, you know. um, it, you underestimate all these limiting beliefs and negative talks, how much they are the number one enemies to your progress, and they keep you stuck in this vicious circle. Okay, so you have to reframe your beliefs. And instead of saying, let's say, I hate my arms, try, I am building strength. Instead of saying, maybe I have no willpower, try, I am creating better systems. Words matter. When you change your language, you shift your identity. So you also have to remember that progress isn't linear. We want progress over perfection. You need to celebrate your wins and practice compassion for yourself as your body evolves. So there will be days, and most of the days won't be positive. So you have to build resilience, and you have to say, okay, today was not well, but tomorrow I'm just gonna start again. I'm not gonna give up, okay? Because if you give up 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, then it gets back to the initial loophole of being back to square one, which is not bad as well. You can start at any time, but I'm just like, it makes you just tired to start all over again, and it makes you lose faith in yourself, you know. So there is a technique that it's called NLP and identity shift. So neurolinguistic programming shows us that beliefs shape behavior. If you believe you're someone who finishes what she starts, you act that way. So Empower uses tools like habit stacking, journaling, and language shifts to help you build a new version of you. So you remember all the little exercise we did together. I think it's important that you continue to speak to your body with a lot of love and compassion. And I think that you also need to do, like, to be hard on yourself when you know that you're abusing or you're not being respecting your own words. But I think you have to find the right balance. But words are super important. They are the most important things because they can change your perspective and identity. They impact your body. You know, whatever you say, there was like an experience on water, and when you were speaking like negative words, the water were having different shape, the molecule of water were having like very ugly shapes. But when you were saying beautiful words, love words, harmonious words, very positive words, the molecule water was just like so beautiful. So we are we are constantly reshaping our body image and ourselves and our mind, and our reprogramming our mindset through our words. Okay, so you have to be careful of what you say. So what's very important is that you need to adapt your training and your nutrition through your female cycle. So don't resist, don't push yourself if you feel that your body is sending you different signal. I'm not telling you to become lazy and do nothing and always do yoga because you have your menstrual cycle and things like this. What I'm trying to tell you is that learn to listen to your body cues, reconnect to your body, reconnect to yourself, and just adapt the intensity. Okay, let's say you can do a CrossFit workout, but maybe you have a lot of pain, it's day one of your period. You don't have to push through 10 out of 10. You can just move and do a 4 out of 10. So you can lift weights. Maybe you are not gonna PR, you're not gonna lift as heavy as usual, but you can still lift weights. I'm not telling you just to go for a swim or walk. I'm telling you to listen to your body and adapt the intensity based on how you're feeling. Okay, now being disciplined, it's important, but also listening to your body's cue and not overtraining is also important, because then you will get injured if you're not listening. So yes, When you have your menstrual phase, you have low energy, you want to focus on recovery, hydration, and iron-rich food. When you have your follicular phase, you want to strength train, and it's an energy peak, and it's ideal for intense training and muscle growth. When you ovulate, it's the strongest phase. You can lift heavy, push harder, and build power. When you have luteal phase, more cravings, less energy, prioritize protein, healthy fats, and rest. These are just suggestions, but we are all unique. And I think that you should just start journaling and understanding what worked best for you. Now, I think that something that is very, very important is that your environment shapes your success. So willpower is overrated. If your environment is full of snacks and no prep, it's hard to stay consistent. So with the program, I help you build an environment that supports you, whether it's food prep, grocery shopping, recipe, tips on how to sleep better and how to supplement. I think it's very important that you create an environment that supports you in your goals. So you need to audit your circle, okay? Who are you surrounding yourself with? Are there people that take care of their health, or are there people that only focus on having shortcut joy and pleasure? You need to set up yourself to win, so you need to always have food available to meal prep, because if you have a busy schedule, you're a busy mom, if you don't have the food ready, you're gonna end up eating crap. So you need to schedule relaxation, sleep, and stress management is very important. Are you going to the gym? Are you doing your breath work? Are you having 1 hour without any devices? Are you going out for a walk? Do you spend time with people that makes you laugh and feel good? You need to eat slowly down, chew, and enjoy the process. Now, there is a flexibility and there is the 80-20 rule, a balanced approach to food freedom, okay? Now, you need to build atomic habits. Tiny daily shifts compounded to massive transformation. It's not about the big picture, and we tend to over glamorize doing a lot of radical stuff. For me, it's just repetitive, simple choices that will make you win in the long run. You need to rewire your brain. The more you repeat the habit, the stronger it becomes natural to you. You need to be able to sustain all these changes. If you can't do it for life, it's not the right plan. You need to also focus on your hormones. You need to recognize when to push and when to rest. Now, it's also important to understand that this program doesn't tell you that you don't have to eat out, that you cannot eat out and have a life. You don't have to avoid events to stay healthy. Learn to eat mindfully, enjoy the company, and bounce back at the next meal. Life is about to be lived, and food is part of that. You need to ditch this all or nothing mentality. One meal won't make you or break you, okay? You need to also understand smart swaps. Choose protein, high fiber options, and then you can share the dessert. Maybe you can ask a burger without the fries. You can swap it with some veggies or salad on the side. You need to still be mindful of everything you're putting in your belly. If you have a big lunch, you can eat smaller breakfast. If you have a big dinner, you can have a smaller lunch. It's all about balance, but you need the discipline to do it, and the clarity and the discernment. You need to shift your mindset. Socializing is about connection, not just food. You need to choose grilled meat, ask for the sauce on the side. You don't need to eat extra fat, And I think it's important to hydrate between alcoholic drinks and to choose very wisely your alcoholic drinks, okay? And you need to bounce back the next meal. So I think that another tool is fasting. I think it's optional. It can be used as a powerful tool. For some, it helps reduce cravings and improve energy. For others, it leads to overeating later. The key is to test and personalize it. There's no right answer, only what works for you. So you need to have a flexible approach. I often recommend clients fast after a big meal, either by skipping breakfast, having an early dinner, skipping a meal the following day to balance out the calories, which is just science. You put more food on one day, you can just balance the other day. It gives you energy and clarity. Fasting can help aid digestion and enhance focus, helping you feel more energized throughout the day. It's been proven, okay? For certain people, there are certain people that are they have health problems, so I would not recommend that to them. So personalized to you, whether it's 12 hours, 16 hours, or longer fast, find a method that aligns with your lifestyle. And it's important to break a fast wisely with balanced meals to avoid blood sugar spikes. Eat protein-rich meals. For sure, you need to focus on protein. So ladies, you just need to understand there is a magic pill for fat loss. It is called consistency over perfection. You need to build habits through small sustainable changes rather than drastic overhauls. Creating an environment that encourages success, meal prep, positive mindset, self-love, rewiring your brain to think differently about food, exercise, and your body. These are key for sustainable change. So I think that it's important that you understand that Empower is not only about just rebalancing your hormone. It's a metabolic change, and it helps you to build long and lasting habits. It works because you have the accountability, you have the mindset coaching, the habit forming, and it creates an environment for lasting change. You work with your body instead of working against it, and there are so many people that benefit from the program. And I think that, for instance, Vandina, she said that she tried to um, many diets in the past, and she was struggling with routines, and she could not lose weight, and after 4 weeks she was amazed that she could find eating, feeling energized, and still lose body fat while enjoying food. So that's the beauty of this program. It teaches you how to eat properly and to give your body what it needs to function to an optimal level, you know. So here are some before and after pictures to keep you going. You see, we're more about what's happening as well on the inside and the outside. It's just a bonus, okay? I don't want you to stay focused only on the body weight, but it's also what's happening when you align with the food to what your body needs, okay? So yes, I think that on top of changing your body composition, what's most important is change your mindset. Okay, so what's next? Now you're done with the 4 weeks. I want you to be able to continue building on the momentum, and that's why I created Empower Nutrition Accountability Plus. It's just a 4 weeks program that you can get in touch with me if you would like to continue. And this time we're gonna dive into the macro aspect of things with tracking, with weekly check-ins, and we're going to go a bit more into specific aspect like macronutrients, eating specific calories on your days of training, eating specific calories on your days of rest, adapt the macronutrients timing as well. We can go more in depth. So after following the hormonal reset, that's the program that I'm happy to offer. So you still have the accountability. We start diving in a bit more specific tracking if you are willing to do it, and we also explore different way of eating and adapt different way of eating, and we adapt it to your lifestyle. Okay, so you're not alone. If you feel that you can continue on your own, I am more than happy. I think you have all the tools to succeed. If you feel that you need a bit more help, I am happy to schedule a call and present you with the next option, which is Empower Nutrition Accountability Plus. Nice. Thank you so much. And I hope that you enjoy this 4 weeks transformation.